My name is Leila. I am 32 years old. I live alone in a small apartment in the city. I feel tired. Always tired. My heart is heavy. My husband, Amir, died 3 years ago. He was my world. Now, the apartment feels empty. Cold. Silent. I wake up at night and reach for him, but there is only the empty pillow. We were poor, but happy. Amir worked long hours. I worked too. We laughed a lot. We dreamed together. But one evening, he didn't come home. A car accident. Gone. Since then, every day is gray. I speak less. Eat less. I walk through life like a shadow. People say, time heals. But they don't know my heart. It is broken. One rainy evening, I stayed in bed longer than usual. My phone rang. It was his sister, Samira. I hadn't spoken to her in months. Leila, she said softly, I found something. Something Amir left for you. I froze. My hands shook. What is it? I whispered. A letter. And something else. Can I come? I nodded, even though I didn't know why. A part of me was scared. A part hoped. When Samira arrived, she handed me a small box. My fingers trembled as I opened it. Inside, there was a letter in Amir's handwriting. And a small, golden key. I sat on the couch and read slowly. My love, if you are reading this, I am no longer with you. But I made a promise. A promise that even death cannot break. There is a place, a house, that I wanted us to have together. A place full of warmth. I left the key to you. You will find it. I want you to be happy again, even without me. Tears fell down my cheeks. I held the key tightly. My fingers burned. My heart felt strange. Hope. But also fear. Could I leave the apartment? Could I follow this promise? The next day, I went. The address was written on the paper. It was outside the city, near the river. The wind was cold, but my hands were warm from holding the key. The house was small, old, but beautiful. Empty, yet full of memory, as if waiting for me. I unlocked the door. Inside, the smell of fresh wood and faint perfume made me shiver. I walked slowly, touching the walls. A note was on the table. Leila, take your time. Fill this house with love, as we dreamed. Days passed. I cleaned the house. I planted flowers. I cooked meals. Sometimes, I would sit by the window, looking at the river, and talk to him silently. I miss you, I whispered. I don't know if I can do this alone. Then, soft sounds of life entered. A stray cat appeared at the door. I named her Saffron. I fed her. She slept by my feet. I felt a small warmth in my chest. Sometimes, I would find letters Amir had hidden. In one, he wrote about our wedding day. In another, about the first time he saw me. I laughed softly, crying at the same time. A neighbor, an old woman named Mrs. Kamal, came by one afternoon. "You are new here," she said. "I haven't seen you before." I just moved in," I said, avoiding her eyes. She smiled gently. "This house has magic. It heals hearts." I wanted to believe her. And slowly, I did. One night, while I was cooking, a man knocked on the door. I froze. Who could it be? It was Samir, Amir's best friend. He looked worried. "Leila, are you okay?" he asked softly. I am trying," I said. My voice trembled. He came in, sat on the couch. "I found something," he said, handing me a small envelope. Inside, there were photos. Photos of Amir, smiling. But one photo was different. It was Amir, standing with another woman, holding a baby. My breath caught. I looked up. Who is she?" My voice was broken. Samir shook his head. "I didn't know until after the accident. The woman, she was a neighbor. She asked Amir to take care of the baby for a few days. He promised he would. He never told anyone else. He wanted to surprise you, to adopt her together. He loved her too. But he never came back." I fell on the floor, shaking. I cried until my body ached. My heart felt crushed into tiny pieces. How could he keep this secret? How could he leave me alone with so much pain? Days passed. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I stared at the photos, the letter, the key. Everything reminded me of him. Then, one morning, I sat by the river, holding saffron in my lap. I whispered, "Amir, I forgive you. I love you. I will try. I promise." Slowly, I began to clean the house again. I painted the walls. I planted flowers. I cooked meals, sometimes leaving extra for the stray cats. I started writing letters to Amir, reading them aloud. I met neighbors. I smiled again, softly, quietly. Life returned in small moments. Months later, I adopted the baby from the woman. I named her Noor. She was tiny, fragile, but she had the brightest eyes. When she held my hand, I felt a spark of joy I hadn't felt in years. Amir's promise was strange. A promise across death. But it healed me. He left me a house, memories, and a reason to live. Now, I sit by the river in the evening. Noor sleeps in my lap. Saffron purrs beside me. The wind is soft. The house is warm. I whisper to Amir's picture on the wall, "Thank you. I am learning to live again. I am learning to love again. Your promise, it saved me." And in that quiet moment, I finally believe that love can survive even beyond death.